This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. I'm a big war game fan. I always have been. It's something that resonates with me and really hits home. I recently got a couple of games from our good friends over at Columbia Games. One of them, Quebec 1759. I want to make sure I got the year right. And also with it was another really unique game. It's called Alliance, multiplayer Napoleonic war game. And I went, oh, okay, that's cool. It's just usually I don't have somebody to play with that. Well, there is a single player component to this, which is very, very interesting. And I've been having a lot of fun with a grand scale, kind of 4X type of game. And it's really, really, really great. There's not a lot to it, but let's go down, take a look at it, and then we're going to come back on the other side and talk more about alliances from our good friends at Columbia Games. Now, I'm not going to explain everything here, but I'm going to tell you this is a real masterpiece. It's a block game, as you know. You're going to have different nations here. And, of course, you know, the same old great thing that happens whenever you get a Columbia game. You're going to get these beautiful quality stickers and blocks to play your games. And the nice thing is they always send you a couple extra, so you never go without. So as you can see, we got extras here, but this game comes with a ton because you're going to have a bunch of different nations. Very quickly, absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous map. The rule book is not very long. It is not complicated, but it is a very detailed and smart game from, you know, again, from two guys that are just absolutely brilliant and get it, and that's Tom and Grant Douglas, who really get things. They had some help from Bruce McFarlane, I believe. Again, some of the iconography. The main thing is that if you lose your main city, you are going to lose the game. You're going to be playing over a certain amount of turns. They break down all the different units that you're going to have in here. You're going to have your HQs, your infantry, your fortresses, cavalry, artillery, and of course fleets, because you are going to also be able to fight on the sea lanes. Excuse me. You're going to be attributing gold and stuff like that, which is going to give you additional action points. You're going to also be completing diplomacy. It's broken down into 4 turns. You're going to have your card phase, which we didn't even talk about, are these fantastic cards. Okay, you're going to put down 1 card, and the highest card, of course, is going to go first. The highest card number becomes player 1, and they get to go in proceeding order. Okay, you're going to have your diplomacy phase, then you're going to have your action phase. That's where you're going to do your movements and such. You will also have your battle phase, which is phase 3, and then, of course, your winter turn. Your battle phase, you are going to pick a bunch of different units. You're going to face off each other, and it usually goes anywhere from 1 to 4 rounds. The really unique thing about these cards, and I've been playing this game more solo. Now, how do you have such a massive, massive game that you play solo? Well, there's a solitary rule to it. And the thing about it is you can fill out this board with all the different units, and what you're going to do is shuffle up a certain amount of cards and turn over a card, and you're going to play that particular colored nation. You're going to do everything for them for a complete turn. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn over that, and you're going to play them for a complete turn. So you're not, you're going to try to perform the best moves for each particular nation that you turn over. Sometimes maybe one nation will get to go more than once. And I found it to be very unique and very, very, very cool. Like we were talking about here, you're going to have leader cards that are going to give you certain bonuses. You're going to have player alliances, of course. There's going to be levies, movement, sea regions, border limits, stacking limits. The stacking limits, I believe, there's a stacking limit of 4 blocks. 4 blocks per area. You are also are going to, like I said, go through this, and as you can see, there's only 8 pages for the rules, so it's a very easy game to learn. There's a couple different victory conditions when a scenario ends, and you're going to have a bunch of scenarios in the back here, and you will set up a certain way. Gold is very interesting in this, is that you can pay for additional action points. And you're going to use gold in diplomacy as well. So it adds another layer of depth to this game, which is just very, 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 very good. And it's a game I really suggest because, as I was playing this, and, this is a Napoleonic war game, it just has a different feel to it. That it's not the same old Napoleonic game. It is very interesting. It has a lot of twists and turns. The scenarios are very well thought out. As I said, you're going to have a defeat. A minor defeat is at the end of the current game turn when its victory city or its region is enemy occupied. It is now allied with the conqueror. An empire defeat is an empire or player or MPE is defeated at the end of the current game turn if either of 2 conditions apply. All the empire victory cities are enemy controlled. An empire is reduced to 3 or less blocks on the map. Not a good thing. Not a good thing, because you're going to have a certain amount of maps. Blocks. I believe it's like anywhere from 13 to 14 per side. Victory conditions. When a scenario ends, the player with totals their victory points. That's all these points that you're going to be capturing and so forth and so on this beautiful, absolutely gorgeous map that I cannot fit in because it's massive. You are going to total up, and whoever has, and as well as counting gold. Ties are broken in favor of the player holding the most treasury gold. Okay, so gold becomes important as well. So it's victory points, and then if there's a tie, you are going to add up how much gold you have. Really, really just a game that if you want to play a grand conquest game, that you are going to be able to sink your teeth into very quickly and have a lot of fun with. But we're going to talk more about that up top. Alliances, multiplayer Napoleonic War game from our good friends over at Columbia Games. Let's head up top and talk more about this. What can you really say? This is a great, great company. And if you have a chance, go over to their website, columbiagames.com, and pick up some of these games. The reason being is there is a complexity to them, okay, that is fantastic. But also, and you wouldn't think there's that much complexity with a block game, but there is a feeling that it's so easy to learn that if you have grandchildren, like I do, sons, daughters, somebody that you want to introduce to the hobby and make it not a brain buster, that these are the type of games that you are going to get a very high level strategic that's going to make them think, but an ease of play that they're going to be able to pick up very quickly. And that's what you get with a lot of Columbia games. Very well thought out by 2 brilliant men, Tom and Grant Douglas. These guys just have done it for years and years and years. And, you know, a tip of hat to them and the glory that they've done with Columbia Games. Columbia's games have been around for a long, long time and will be here because they continue to produce fantastic experiences like this. I know for a fact that I've played a lot of games with my son when he was kind of like, war games, and I've been able to break a Columbia game out, and we've had wonderful, wonderful times. Victory is a perfect example of that. It wasn't hard for him to learn, but then he wanted to play more and play different games, and that's thanks to the brilliance of Columbia and these two fantastic designers. The part of this game that I really appreciate is the solo aspect of it, where I was like, okay, well, how's this going to work out? And as I started playing it, I really got into it because I didn't line myself with anybody. But every time I turned over that card, I said, oh boy, you know, I just threw a beating on them, you know, the turn before. And now how am I going to dig myself out of what I've just created? And I think that's just brilliant. And the beauty of the blocks, the beauty of the map, the ease of play. I mean, what more can I say? You have to get this. And I'm telling you, you will love it and enjoy it and be able to play. It's a great Friday night game with your friends that you can have a great, great time and be able to finish it in an evening, which is not easy to say for a lot of war games, but Alliances does that, and they do it correctly. Check it out. Head over to Columbia Games. You won't be disappointed. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everybody.